The way I think a good program works, it's really defining goals at the beginning of the year, and really starting out with what are the company goals for the year, and then building off of that. And then all of the owners have a piece of that. And the nice thing about companies with multiple owners or partnerships is, you can balance each other's strengths and weaknesses. So you can put people in the position to succeed. But to do it right, it's start with your firm goals, figure out what every person that works the firm is going to do to help achieve those goals. And then you have those goals and you check in throughout the year and see your progress. And if you knock it out of the park and do a great job with your goals, you should get a larger cut of the bonus because you led to more profits that year. And I think it's a good formula. I think it motivates people. And I think it can, take companies to the next level. I think a lot of companies struggle in that first year of trying to take that plunge because they're used to I get my base draw and I get my salary, and people don't want to give it up. They're not willing to take that leap of faith. So it's a challenge to convince people and get the buy-in. And I think you need to get buy-in from the whole group in order for it to be successful. Drive revenues, bring in business. And it's not just bringing in new clients. It's, offering additional services to existing clients, running the firm more profitably to make sure people are utilized properly, make sure you've got a good realization on clients. So there's a lot of components to what can make the year end be very profitable. At the engineering companies, it gets into the multiplier. Are they bidding jobs right? Are they making enough money on the jobs? Is their staff working enough? Do they have enough billable hours? And all those things. And of course, bringing in the new projects and making the connections and getting involved in the community so you can grow the company. It all goes into it. And you can set up measurable goals on all those things if that's how you believe you're going to advance your company, and align the compensation with achievement of those goals. I mean, there's the compliance side of things. Every year, do a tax return. Every year, you may need an audit. But I think where you can really add value is on the consulting side of working with the companies. Where are they going with the company? How can you help them? How can you help them be more profitable, be more efficient? Ownership transition issues and all that. And I was actually just at a conference not too long ago, and I've read some things that artificial intelligence is coming on, and the Big Four are spending millions and millions of dollars developing computer programs that can do a lot of the compliance. So tax returns, a computer can do the whole thing, and audits. I heard a story of one of the big firms was developing software that basically the software would spit out what the balance sheet and income statement should look like, and the audit basically involved comparing that computer-generated balance sheet and income statement, which is derived from all the data that took place during the year, to the actual results. So I think the key for a good accountant is getting away from just the annual compliance work. I think even today where we add the most value, it's getting to know the owners, getting to know the business, helping them, solve their problems, helping them get to the next level, and really working closely with them. And I think that's how we differentiate ourselves. And it's more interesting. Yeah, sitting in your office, just getting your billable hours, punching out tax returns and things like that, I think that business is going to change significantly. And where the firms are going to go and add the most value is in the consulting side. And that's what we see now. I mean, things come up. You get a company that has an owner that, is nearing retirement age and hasn't even thought about, well, what are we going to do now? So it's working with them of, transitioning to the next generation. Do they have the right people in place to take over the firm? I mean, sometimes you get someone who wants to sell it to the next generation, wants to see the company that he or she started survive the next generation, but they haven't done anything to groom the future leaders. So who's going to take it over? So you run into those issues, and it's trying to identify those early and help.